I remade Doom in Roblox, and here's how. After the game jam from last video, which you should totally check out, I wanted to improve my skills even further with an FPS game, so I got to work. I first started with a movement system. I wanted to recreate Titanfall movement, but I don't know how physics-based movement works, so I just stuck with more linear movement. I added dashing first, which shoots a raycast from the torso for a certain distance. If it hits nothing, it tweens the player 35 studs in front, but if it hits a wall, it tweens the player 1 stud away from the wall. By the way, if you want to make dashing for your game, stay away from body velocity, it's too janky, stick to my method. If you don't, here's the video what happens. Anyways, I then made the scuffed crouching animation, and also made a sliding mechanic using the animation. I then added double jump and ground pounding, which I again used raycats for. I also tried adding a vaulting mechanic, but my brain couldn't wrap my head around how to do that, so I just gave up. I then spent a bit making a test map to test the movement, and here's a little clip of the movement. With the movement system out of the way, I needed models for the FPS system, but I don't know how to model, and this was my best shot. So I decided there'd be no models for the game except for the gun model, which I sped built in Roblox Studio, which in my opinion, looks pretty good. I then followed a dev forum tutorial on how to make a view model, and I had this. Wait, no, wrong recording. I spent a few hours bug testing, and then I had this. Well, great, still not working. So after 2 grueling days, I managed to fix the problems and I finally had this. I then used the fastcast module to make the gun actually work, and bada bing, bada bang, I should have a working FPS system. Except for the fact that I shouldn't have used the run surface for the auto fire, and the fact that I don't know how to make the view model switch to a different gun. So actually, it didn't work very well, and now I'm contemplating my life decisions, and why I trapped myself into making YouTube videos, and why I even started game dev in the first place. Anyways, with one mental breakdown out of the way, I spent a few hours bug fixing and ended up with this, which in my opinion, looks pretty good. I also wanted to gain some experience in sound design, so I made the gun shoot sound, and the reload sound, using Nerf guns. I personally feel that they turned out pretty good, but that may just be bias. Anyways, I then added ADS using the spring module, and made gun bubble, camera bubble, ADS bubble, and much more game feel updates using the spring module. I also added a lot more game feel updates to the movement system, so now everything feels a lot smoother. I then needed to make enemies, so I made different types of enemies using this advanced diagram and put their stats into a module script. This was the first time I used a module script in a game, and it made my life so much easier. Please, if you're learning to code, use module scripts. Anyways, I got too lazy to make animations, and I kinda can't make models, so everything's just a normal Roblox character with some exceptions. Also, I'll go through all the enemy types real quick. Zombie is your regular enemy taking 4 hits to kill, but deals low damage at low range. Armored, same as zombie but takes way more hits, but in turn walks slower and has less range, but does more damage. Flying, moves really fast, has a long range but does low damage. Gunner, does many long range attacks but with low damage and low hit rate. Rocketeer, same as Gunner but higher damage, higher range, higher hit rate but slower fire rate. Giant, same as Zombie but is way bigger, moves slower but has very high health. Boss, same as Zombie but with extremely high health, also does low damage but has an extremely high fire rate. After making the zombies and having some problems with pathfinding, you know you're supposed to walk towards me, not in just random directions! I was ready to almost finish the game. I made a damage system, a wave system, and a system to count which round you're on. And with that, I made a very advanced map and added some final touches before finishing the game. Also, I ran into an issue where if you don't consistently get 60 FPS, the game breaks, so if you have a potato computer, don't play my game. Also, you can't use an FPS unlocker or the game will kick you. Now, the game was truly finished. The game is in the description, so go play it. If you want to try and beat my record of Wave 13, go ahead and try. If you're a game dev, my game is uncopylocked, so you can go check out the code if you wanna, and with that, subscribe.